Have you ever sent a message to someone you care about, only to be met with silence? That sting is called the silent treatment, and it hurts more than most people realize. It's not just about unanswered words, it's about feeling invisible to someone who matters. Unlike arguments, silence leaves us guessing, often blaming ourselves for what went wrong. This quiet rejection can cut deeper than harsh words, making us question our worth and leaving us anxious and isolated. We're wired for connection, so when someone withholds communication, it feels like a threat to our sense of belonging. The pain is real, even if there are no visible scars. Friends might say, just get over it, but that's easier said than done. Recognizing the hurt is the first step to healing. In this video, we'll explore why passive rejection hurts, what motivates it, and how to respond in healthy ways. Our goal? To help you protect your emotional well-being and build relationships based on respect and open communication. You deserve to be seen and heard. Let's learn how to navigate the silent treatment together. Passive rejection is when someone expresses anger or disapproval by withholding communication. Think silent treatment or stonewalling. Instead of saying what's wrong, they ignore your texts, avoid eye contact, or give one-word answers. This creates tension and confusion, leaving you to guess what's really happening. Dr. John Gottman calls stonewalling one of the biggest threats to relationships. It's when someone completely shuts down and refuses to engage. The key is indirectness. The person can deny anything's wrong, making you feel like you're imagining the problem. It's a form of passive aggression that avoids honest conversation. While taking a break to cool down can be healthy, the silent treatment is about control, not resolution. It's a destructive pattern that leaves one person powerless and desperate for connection. Recognizing passive rejection for what it is helps you address it more effectively. Healthy relationships require open, direct communication, not silence. The pain of being ignored isn't just emotional, it's hardwired into our brains. Social rejection once meant real danger for our ancestors, so our brains evolved to treat it like a threat. Neuroscience shows that the same brain regions that process physical pain also light up when we're excluded. That's why being ignored can feel like a punch to the gut. This reaction isn't weakness, it's a sign of how deeply we need connection. The uncertainty of silence triggers anxiety and rumination, making us replay interactions and blame ourselves. Without closure, the confusion can be worse than a direct argument. Being ignored also strips us of control. We're left waiting, powerless, and doubting our worth. The silent treatment combines social pain, anxiety, and helplessness, making it especially damaging. Understanding this response can help you be kinder to yourself. Your pain is real and valid. Healing starts with recognizing the impact of silence. Why do people use the silent treatment? Often it's about control. Silence manipulates the emotional climate and puts the other person on edge. Some use it to avoid conflict, shutting down instead of facing uncomfortable conversations. For others, it's a learned behavior from childhood, repeated because it's familiar, not because it's healthy. Sometimes people are simply overwhelmed and don't know how to express their feelings, so they withdraw. Whether it's about power, fear, or lack of skills, the result is the same: pain and distance. Understanding these motives doesn't excuse the behavior, but it can help you see it's not always about you. The silent treatment is rarely a healthy solution. It leaves issues unresolved and relationships strained. Recognizing the reasons behind it can help you respond with empathy and set boundaries. Remember, you can't control someone else's silence, but you can control your response. Healthy relationships require honest communication, not withdrawal. Spotting passive rejection starts with noticing patterns, not just isolated incidents. The most obvious sign: repeated silence, texts left unread, calls ignored, conversations shut down. Emotional withdrawal is another clue. The person is physically present but emotionally distant, offering only cold, brief responses. Sarcasm and backhanded compliments can also signal passive rejection, expressing hostility without direct confrontation. You might hear, "I'm fine," when everything about their behavior says otherwise. This mismatch between words and actions is confusing and frustrating. Passive rejection isn't about one bad day, it's a consistent pattern that leaves you feeling isolated. Recognizing these signs is the first step to addressing the problem. You deserve relationships where communication is open and honest. When you're ignored, your first instinct might be panic or anger, but pause and check in with yourself. Acknowledge your feelings, they're valid. Take a breath and avoid blaming yourself for someone else's silence. Reach out calmly, expressing your desire to connect without accusations. Try, "I've noticed some distance and I'd like to understand what's going on when you're ready to talk." Use I statements to share how their silence affects you, not to attack. Set boundaries. Let them know you respect their need for space, but prolonged silence isn't healthy for you. Say, "I need us to talk through problems, not avoid them." If the silent treatment is part of a pattern of emotional abuse, prioritize your safety and seek support. Remember, you can't force someone to communicate, but you can protect your own well-being. Healthy relationships are built on respect, not punishment. Choose responses that honor your needs and boundaries. Healing from passive rejection means focusing on your own well-being, not changing the other person. Practice assertiveness. Clearly state your needs and boundaries while respecting others. If the silent treatment is a recurring issue, consider therapy for support and skill building. Strengthen your support network. Connect with people who value open, healthy communication. Positive relationships remind you of your worth and help buffer the pain of difficult ones. Ultimately, you control your emotional health. Set boundaries and, if needed, create distance from harmful relationships. Ending a toxic dynamic isn't failure, it's self-respect. By prioritizing honest communication and seeking support, you can heal and build genuine, nurturing connections. You deserve to be seen, heard, and valued. Never settle for less.